You're listening to the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network. The views and opinions expressed on this episode are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, or philosophies of the PFC Entertainment Network or any of the affiliates that make this show possible. This show has also been rated M for mature audiences only. This is Creepy Soup on the PFC Entertainment Network.
That's weird.
Yeah. 111. How are you today?
Peachy.
Should we talk about our cool cups?
We should.
We should. Okay, so Jenny got hers first. And then I ordered one. It's the Miyoki cups. They're like viral on TikTok.
They're freaking
But
fabulous.
I'm not gonna lie, I cheated and ordered mine on Amazon.
I got mine on TikTok.
They're amazing.
Yes.
It is right now, currently, 2:05 in the morning, where I'm at. This ice has been in here 12 hours. 12 hours.
That's insane. And in case you don't notice, hers has a rubber tip. Mine does not, because I actually am very sensitive to rubber materials.
You know what I'm showing?
You're
Okay,
showing.
See, there's a hole.
No spill. I'm glad you opted to do that because I'm on a bed and I'm sure there's a few drops in there somewhere.
Well, my big scare would have been if something happens, I've got
The computer.
the microphone and all that. But we obviously don't get a commission, and we totally fucking should, because we were talking about it just before we started recording. We were talking about how fucking awesome these are.
Yes. I mean, I can put ice in mine at work when I get there and not have to put ice in again until I leave. Mind you, the only reason I'm having to add ice is because I'm refilling it with warm drinks. So it's melting my ice.
Now, you know
However,
me.
hold on. However, the drink inside my cup gets so flipping cold that I can't stand it to the point where it hurts. It's so cold.
It does get very cold. I was honestly amazed at how cold it gets. Like,
Yes.
I don't know what the science behind it is. I have no idea what the science behind it is. But I've had Yetis. I've had ones that came from a merch store.
Mm-hmm.
I've got like the taller ones for. I've got one that I use strictly for coffee in the winter because I need a lot of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then one for ice water. That keeps it colder than any of the other ones that I own. That's why it's so dark in here. I don't have that light on. I was like,
Nice.
why is it so fucking dark in here? That's why, because I'm fucking insane. I'm going to slide over and turn it on.
Are you implying that if the light's not on, you're insane?
No, I'm saying for me because I thought for sure I turned it on and I did not.
Okay, fair.
Because I was thinking, well, maybe the little light I've got in front of me has the charging cord and you can charge it and it'll eventually just die if it's unplugged. So I keep it plugged in. And I'm like, well, maybe that's dying because the charger cord that's in there is a little shoddy. But no, it's because I don't have that light on.
Well,
So
good morning.
I'm going to slide over and do that.
Oh, too funny. So yeah, we're both in love with our Miyoki cups, and I don't know. I guess I think it's the best cup I've got. Um, and I think the best feature for me is the fact that it has a flippin' handle. Because then I can just like wrap it over my hand. And then I'm hands free. I don't know who's connecting me or her.
What just happened?
I don't know.
Okay,
Did yours
guys.
go to a connecting thing?
Yeah.
Okay, mine too.
Okay. All right.
That was weird.
All
Hi,
right.
welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. That was, I don't know, a ghost ad. I don't know. Well, I don't know what happened there. Um, I know my connection is pretty good.
Same.
Because I'm just a couple feet away from the extender.
What were you saying before we started, right after we got on? What was some lemonade?
Yeah, yeah. With Mercury is in retrograde and it can fuck all the way off. All the way off. All the way off.
I have already set a name for myself this week in my new slot at work. I have worked a morning shift 2 days. Guess how many most fucked up of the day machines have been found? About 5.
Mm,
Guess who's found all those machines?
you?
Hi. Welcome to the one person destruction team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's so funny because we have an old man at work. We call him Bones. Um, he very much fits his name along with the other nickname of Father Time. Yep. So he jokes all the time how, because he's an ES, meaning he cleans, that he touched it and it broke. Or he walked near it and it malfunctioned. And so yeah, that has now become my new thing. Is that I go near it and
Yeah.
And it's so funny because some customers are like, "Oh, run my machine for luck." Like, you don't want me to touch your machine; it will blow up.
Yeah. You will end up on Mars, sir.
Right? And there have been a few people I've told that to, and they just laugh, and it's like, you don't understand.
Yeah. Yeah. And okay, you said Father Time. So I was going to go and get something to eat real quick from a drive-through so I could get ready. Well, the main little road I go down, 3 restaurants right next to each other, Taco Bell, which I don't do Taco Bell anymore. I don't. McDonald's and Burger King. Well, I couldn't even see the McDonald's sign because usually you can see it from like way back. I didn't see it. It was off. They were closed. Burger King was lit up like a fucking Christmas tree, but I pulled up and they announced over the speaker that they were closed. So then I went to the next closest McDonald's location, which, because that one is closed, that one has a line out to the road. And I'm like, nope, I'm going to go home and make eggs and toast. So I get home, Roy's like, you can have eggs, but we ain't got bread for toast. I told you to pick some up, which I don't recall him doing that. He may have. I just don't remember. So I just had pizza.
Gotcha.
Before I went to work, he had me mix the dough up, and he made the pizza up. So yeah, that's what I had. And a bowl of cereal. And I really want some ice cream. But on the way home from said locations, I was like, am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? Because it was kind of dark. And there was an older man. When you said Father Time, it made me think of this. In a robe, leaving the party store, in his pajamas. And I was like, wow. The things you see at midnight. So, yeah.
Uh, mm, I can top that one.
I mean, anyone going into a Walmart can top it.
Nope. Nope. Standing by guest services. Just looking out onto the gaming floor. You can see a lot. Old people do nasty things. Very nasty things. There's a reason you want shit sanitized where old people go. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, going to Walmart. Okay. I was raised by a very, I don't want to say picky woman, but I don't know. Like, her thing was, you don't wear jogging pants in public. You definitely don't wear pajamas and slippers in public.
Guilty.
I can't say I've ever wore pajamas. Now, I do have one pair of sweats that I wear. And I like when I wear them because people leave me alone. They're my joggers with the Ouija board on it. Yeah. People leave me alone when I wear that.
I've got a pair of cranky pants.
I've seen those and I want them.
I've had those for a little while, and I can finally get back into them. But no, back in the day of my older kids being little, I wore like the baggy yoga pants, with the words on the butt and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I would totally wear those and some slippers into the gas station. That was me.
Now, when I would drop my kids off at school, like once they were old enough to not have to be walked in, and I just drove them to school because I would normally come home and go back to bed because I'd have to get up in a couple hours anyway to get ready and go to work. I would drop them off in my pajamas, but I never got out of the car.
Yeah.
But I would put a bra on.
Yes. Always had a bra on.
So yeah. And that was all because of, being told over and over, you don't wear sweatpants out in public. And I can remember I was in high school and it was a thing where you got the jogging pants and you brought them up like mid calf, like midway to the calf. I don't know. Maybe it was a Michigan thing, but so I had bought a. Now, look, I don't know what it is about me. It's not even just now, currently at my old ass age. It is, it's always been. Other girls could wear jogging pants and look super cute and sporty. I just look homeless.
Okay, so I know your Halloween costume this year. We are going to put you in a pair of sweats, an oversized t-shirt, and put a headband on you.
The fuck are you trying to do to me? It's funny because Rachel and I just this afternoon were talking about headbands. And that's my thing. I love headbands. I think they're cute. I actually have some really cute ones. But I put them on and I look homeless. So
Yeah, see, like I said, Halloween costume, done. You're good.
yeah. I don't even know what day Halloween falls on. But now, a couple years ago, I had found on Amazon the Freddy Krueger sweater dress
Mm-hmm.
and the hat and the hand. And, well, recently, while cleaning stuff out, I gave Jackson the hand. It doesn't exist anymore. And I gave him the hat, and I haven't seen that in weeks. I still have the dress, though.
Nice.
But, I mean, I could go on Amazon at any... But I wore that and looked, what? Homeless.
So, my first day on my new shift, my new supervisor sought me out and made sure to check my eyes. Nope, she was checking the color.
Oh, the contacts.
She had to make sure I didn't have creepy eyes in. I believe they were purple day. And naturally, I had done a purple look. I think I did black and purple. And she was like, okay, I like that. That's nice. That's not bad. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I've got the green and the blue. And I was like, I've got more on the way. I was like, don't worry. I know not to wear anything that could potentially scare any old people. And she starts laughing and she's like, yeah.
Thank you.
And so then I was explaining how I do like the creative makeup and stuff on TikTok, which I've done some bang up looks the last few weeks. So if you haven't checked, go check those out. But yeah, and she's like, oh, what are you gonna do for Halloween? I bet you do great stuff for Halloween. And I was like, yeah, but, and she's like, oh, yeah, she's like, you can't do the whole face. I was like, nope. We are not allowed to do any makeup that covers the entire face to obscure who we are. We are
Yeah.
not allowed to wear a full mask. We can't wear a hat. We can't,
A
yeah.
hat.
Yeah, and like it's like a witch hat or something like that.
Hmm.
Anything that would obscure surveillance from seeing who we are.
Okay.
So yeah. And I was like, yeah, but if you gave me off for Halloween, I could do a whole big look and then I can come in and show everybody.
That would be fun.
And she's like, oh, she's like, well, maybe it'll fall on your day off. So I'm kind of hoping that happens.
See, I'd be looking at the calendar to see what is it a potential.
I kind of have a feeling she'll help me finagle that.
That'd be cool.
I think so.
And then, you could spend it with Marshmallow.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, and not only that, but I have time to practice my SFX from now until Halloween. And I won a PR kit,
Yeah.
um, and it came with two big bottles of liquid latex. It came with a bruise wheel. It came with some new ears and a few other goodies to create new looks.
Sweet.
Yeah. So, and with the new contacts I have coming, I'm
Oh, yeah,
so
you can have fun
excited.
with that.
So excited. Like, yeah, it's some money, but at the same time, like, I can use them for the next year to create, a new look each month with, like, each pair. To me, that's worth it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it puts a smile on my face. And my husband saw my last round of looks,
Uh-huh.
and he's like, you're really good at that. He's like, you've really mastered it. He's like, have you ever thought about getting an airbrush and, doing like logos and stuff for people and just, making different things and like even on t-shirts and whatnot and, making money on the side. So he thinks I'm that good.
I've seen some of your looks, and they are very, very good. They're very
Oh,
good.
have you seen the recent ones though?
I haven't.
You gotta go check out my page and see my recent ones.
I will. I will check those out.
So, on that note, should we get into today's episode?
Sure.
All right. So, we're gonna go with some paracide. Do you know what that is?
Parent murders.
Yep. Yeah, I actually had to double check because I thought it was patricide.
That's if the father is murdered, and
Yeah,
matricide is if the mother is murdered.
yeah. So I had to go double check. And so, yeah, it's actually a list
Ooh.
of parents who have driven their children to kill. And this list was on a site called thought.is.
What?
Thought.is.
Oh, never heard of it.
Yeah, neither had I. And this list was done by Jim Goad. I don't have the entire list. I just kind of picked a few that I liked. And so, yeah. This first one, like, I could see it, you know, but at the same time, wrong. So, this one is with Alex and Derek King, and they are the pair of pimply-faced, scruffy Florida boys who have basically been shuffled through the system. They've got a troubled past, they've got a broken home. Um, Finally, after bouncing around for quite some time, in 2001, they end up landing with their father. And at this point, Alex is 12 and Derek is 13.
Oh, they're young.
Yes. They end up making friends with a man named Rick Chavez. And he is a friend of their dad. And apparently, through letters that were found after everything, they learned Alex was in a relationship with this man. Yeah. And apparently, in one of them, he even notes how when he went to live with his dad, he was straight. Yuck. And now he's gay.
Okay.
hmm and neither boys of the boys really like their dad. And so they had devised a plan to get rid of dad so that they can move in with the other guy.
Hmm.
Yep. Um, so in November of 2001, firefighters respond to a call to the home where they find the father on the couch. By the way, I forgot to mention, this list is, it's got all the triggers.
Okay.
All the triggers. They're there at some point. So that's your warning. And now, okay, so his face was bashed in and his skull was split open with a baseball bat.
Okay.
Um, they had had multiple trials, retrials, whatnot. They could never determine which one actually held the bat, which one did the swinging. In the end, they both confessed,
Okay.
which, okay, I mean, that's cool. They stuck together, they didn't rat each other out. You know what I mean? Like, good for them. You know, most would be all. Um, so they were charged with third degree murder and arson. Alex was released in 2008, Derek in 2009, and Rick Chavez will be released in 2028.
Okay. So he played a part.
I'm gonna guess that he may have been living there, honestly.
Okay.
Not 100% though. Um, so yeah. And my guess would be also that he got arrested for, you know, Dylan. So, yeah. Second on our list, we have Lowell Lee Andrews. I mean, the name kind of gives it away. Sorry. But apparently, this kid looked more like a stamp collector. Um, he was very clean cut, very nice and polite. Didn't look like a murderer. His hometown paper even dubbed him the nicest boy in town.
Okay.
Yep. So, 1958, he rolls in for Thanksgiving, visiting family. He's 18 years old and is a zoology major.
Okay.
So he's home on a college break. He's upstairs in his room reading some Dostoevsky. Not 100%. And the rest of his family, his little sister and mom and dad, are downstairs watching TV. He finishes reading. He goes in, shaves, puts on a suit, gets a revolver and a rifle, and heads downstairs.
Okay.
Sister gets one right between the eyes. That's mercy. Mom, oops, hold on, I surpassed my notes here. Um, his sister is Jenny Marie. Um, she gets the one shot. He then turns to Mom. Mom gets 6 rounds.
Wow.
Dad, he's freaking out. He starts trying to crawl away to the kitchen to potentially get to safety in a phone, something. He gets a staggering 17 rounds put into him.
Good Lord.
Yep, before he finally succumbs while crawling away. Lowell then went to see a movie. In the
What movie?
process, I'm not sure. Sorry. Um, in the process, he throws, let's see, I think I got it here. Oh, okay. It just says he tossed him in the river. He then goes back home and phones police to notify them that his parents have been shot. However, officers are very suspicious of him because he is not acting in a normal manner. He is very cool, calm, collected, almost emotionless.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, as they're questioning him, there's a minister roaming around the house apparently. And he comes up and he talks to him and gets him to confess. Um, and he does, and in the process of confessing, he says that he felt nothing while doing it, and that he really doesn't know why he did it.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Very odd, I thought. Um, he is found guilty and is executed by hanging November 1962.
Sorry.
All good. And then we'll move to David Brahm. He was described as a nice guy.
Aren't they all?
I was gonna say, it's always the nice guys. And that he wouldn't even hurt a flower, wouldn't step on one, wouldn't, pull it out. Um, at least, this is what his classmates thought, because he was in high school. But David had a dark side that he didn't really show anybody. And he fed his dark side some, what was it? Thrash music and hardcore punk. He listened to bands like Suicidal Tendencies, which I don't know it. In February 1988, after allegedly arguing with his dad over the music that he was listening to,
Been
um,
there.
He grabbed a very large axe and proceeded to visit everybody in the home.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Apparently he took swings at mom, dad, brother, and sister for a staggering 56 blows in total.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah, that's some fucking rage. The next day, he showed up to school with a freshly dyed black mohawk and was boasting to girls on how he had murdered his family.
Hmm.
Yep. He was sentenced to life in prison.
Okay, good, good.
Yeah, as far as I know, he's still there. Um, this next case, though, this one might have made the Guinness Book of Records. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't have a chance to check. Um, 2013. This sounds like a case that should come from Ohio. However, it comes from McLeod, Oklahoma, and involves a young man named Brad. Well, Brad had a stepdad, and in 2013, he had overheard his stepdad bad-mouthing his mom, making some snide comments. So, Brad wants to get even, knocks the stepdad unconscious, and proceeds to do what all young boys proclaim is impossible, and gives an atomic wedgie. However, this atomic wedgie had the waistband caught around his throat.
Okay, while he's still wearing them? Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
He ends up strangling to death as the boy is taking pictures as proof, not realizing what is happening. He didn't think it was ever possible and kind of freaked out. You know, I mean, I get it. You accidentally killing a dude. You know, just trying to give him a wedgie. Um, he does plead guilty. Um, I'm trying to see how long he gets. Oh, actually, I don't have how long he actually got sentenced for that. Um, but yeah, he did plead guilty, and yeah, maybe in the Guinness Book of Records. Not sure.
Yeah, that's a little
Definite.
crazy. Did you ever watch that show, A Thousand Ways to Die, or something like that?
Pretty confident I've
And they
seen it.
had some insane. That would definitely be a good one for that show.
Right? And it's interesting, too, that sometimes accidents happen. So many people forget, some people are on death row and, like, yeah, they did it, but they didn't mean to do it.
Right.
So that's crazy. And we'll go to the final one. Um, this one, by the end of the story, I was glad. Because it does have a happy ending twist. And it sounds like just one of those clickbait stories,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not. This one is Stacy Leonard. She claimed that her father had started molesting her at the age of 3. Or, I'm sorry, not at the age of 3, in the 3rd grade. My mistake. It had apparently very quickly gone from one stage to the next.
Mm-hmm.
As they do. Um, it was apparently usually happening when he would be so drunk that the mom would kick him out of the room. That's usually how that goes too. And apparently, on occasion, they would be in the basement and mom would be upstairs. Like Stacy knew she was upstairs and knew that her mom could hear her down there crying. And, that mom would later find bloody undies and things like that. Never did a thing.
Disgusting.
Yep. Unfortunately, her mind was so warped by everything that had happened to her because her mind knew it was wrong, but her body was betraying her
Yeah.
and responding differently. Because what some people don't realize is that it's not about who's doing it, it's about that it's being done.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't have control for that. Anytime that she would attempt to fight off any of his advances, he would become violent. And then you get the other side of the abuse. She finally decided enough was enough in 1990 when he had started molesting her young daughter. Yep. Yep. So, one day, July 4th, I think we can all assume what happened in this situation, as most big holidays go and alcoholics go. She got a rifle, and when he was sleeping, she went to his room and shot.
Good for her.
Unfortunately, she got his collarbone. He didn't realize he had been shot and was startled awake and yelling at her to go call 911, call police. And then started berating her on how long she was taking. And that's when she was like, you know what? This motherfucker don't deserve to live. And she went back in to end the job. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I'm glad she did.
Mm-hmm.
So, in 2009, the Missouri governor commuted her sentence from a life sentence to 20 years due to the nature and circumstances of the crime.
Okay.
She was released after serving only 18.
Good.
I am glad for that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say by the end of this one, I was glad.
Yeah, for sure.
So, that was my little list this week.
Okay. There's a couple of them I thought would be on there.
There is some other ones. I mean, obviously, Hernandez brothers, but I didn't want to get into that one because, I mean, that one's a pretty well talked about, well publicized,
Yeah,
type one. Whereas these ones, like especially the underwear one, I mean, come on,
yeah,
you know. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to look and see what there was, as far as things like that, and yeah.
yeah. Now, me personally, I don't know. I I think the Menendez brothers, I think they should be out.
Yeah, Hernandez brothers though, they need to stay in.
Which ones are they?
Um, these ones killed their parents for their money.
I don't know if I've
Just
ever heard.
just straight up.
I don't know if I've ever heard of that one.
Pretty positive it was Hernandez. Anyway.
And I think there's one that's out that shouldn't be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I have been down a rabbit hole about that one, watching different things and even like documentaries while she was still in prison, and just the lies in those interviews while she's in prison, like saying, "Oh, I did this and this and this," and then turn around and say this was never done, but she had. I don't know. Yeah.
I haven't followed all of that, to be honest. I know there's a whole lot of drama around it.
The, there is, like I said, just watching, and then have you seen the pictures?
Mm-mm.
I mean, I've got a couple of theories, and then listening to some of these people like on YouTube, and they also have the same theory, and I'm like, I thought I was the only person that thought that, and it turns out I'm not. I I don't know. I think the mom was already attacked before the boyfriend showed up.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. I truly do. Because he said he only 4 times.
Hmm.
How do you have 17 stab wounds and nearly decapitated?
Right, and that's a lot of passion to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was one, honestly, in the beginning, I was kind of, glad. Like, hey, good, she's getting out.
Hmm.
But I also don't think the mom had Munchausen by proxy, because that is usually, not usually, but most common, I guess, where they will, like, spike their food with something to make them sick, so they have to rush them to the hospital and look like the hero for saving them.
Hmm.
And that I don't think was the case.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's a whole thing. So
I guess I would have to do the deep dive into it.
do it, do it.
Well, I don't have time right now.
Yeah, I'll send you a couple of names to look up, and yeah,
All right. Well, on that note, I'm going to go into my announcement, which is that I'm going to be stepping away for a little while for family reasons. And we're going to have Jason and some potentially others fill in for me while I'm gone. Um, I will keep Jill and everyone updated, and I'll be back when I can.
And you know me, take your time. I got you.
Yeah.
So, all right. I guess on that note, we will say good night because it's got to be. I'm not used to this new phone yet. Because the
It's
other one I
just
could.
about 2
Yeah,
a.m. for me, so.
yeah. It's almost 3 o'clock. I'm sleepy. I will say I'm excited. Tomorrow, later today, is Wednesday. Popcorn day at work. And halfway through my week, and then once I get out Friday, I'm off. I'll be on vacation.
Nice.
So I am excited for that. So, all right. On that note, everyone have a great week, and we will see you next time.
Bye.